hey, there's only so much we can get monthly, so there's not going to be that interest, or extra lease payment. So this is the appointment Abby went on, then didn't get some stuff. So we sent him back yesterday. So what did you get so far? Because I circled up top. I still don't have comps. What did you get? You got the mortgage payment.
Okay, I didn't write in comps. I apologize. I have the rent comp is 3,500.
Okay.
And its asking prices seems to be on target.
Okay.
I had to get the monthly payment, which he gave me an approximate 2,100.
Okay, I see. Yep.
Okay. That's what I need to fill in.
Is that PITI?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the guy that wants money on the 400 and some odd grand he's got in equity for whatever it is.
Correct. About 440.
Does he want to do an AO?
I didn't speak to him about AO, but in my conversations with him, he talked a lot about renting and how terrible it is. About how terrible it is to be a landlord.
Okay, so he's screaming that he doesn't want you to have him be in an AO.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you talk to him about? Refresh us.
We spoke about a hybrid of, a lease purchase with, and he asked about interest on his on his equity.
Okay. And did you have the conversation that Rusty and I told you about, hey, there's only so much we can get monthly, so there's not going to be that interest, or extra lease payment.
Right. So I didn't say how much. I did say, the numbers, I'm not sure they're going to work out because I said you have so much equity there that with the rent comps, I don't know that we could, I don't know what we can do, but I said that my partner would call that you've got a good, maybe you can figure out some other options or something else. I left it open because I didn't know which direction you'd want to go in, but I did paint that picture that doing straight up more interest is not gonna, at 5%, it's definitely not gonna work.
No, it's $1,800. I think we figured.
Yeah. And he did ask me about what rent comps we were looking at. When I told him 3,500, he was right on the same page. He said that's exactly what I was thinking as well in terms of rent comps.
Okay, so then my conversation next would be, and I can call this guy Thursday because you set it up to somebody who's going to call him. But my conversation would be, if we're on the same page for rent comps, and I want to hear Rusty and Rick on this, then my conversation would be, I need to work in a spread. If I take the grand I need for a spread and you're 21, there's only a little bit left. That would be an extra lease payment. You wouldn't have to claim it as interest income. Well, half of what he wants.
I'm sorry, repeat that. You said.
Well, the difference, it's not even half. If you agree on 3,500, and this is contingent upon you getting 3,500, it has to be. And he has to be open to you coming back and go, hey, I didn't get it, and we got to lower it. If he's open to that fluid conversation, then you need $1,000, let's just say, and to start the conversation off. So now you're down to 2,500. There's $400 left for him as an extra lease payment.
Okay.
Hypothetically.
Taxes are high in New Jersey, so you'll give yourself a good chance of getting a buyer with a good down payment.
Yeah, especially in this market. The 35 is probably totally realistic.
What is the taxes,
About 7,800, something like that.
So $600 a month, let's just call it, in that payment. Super good rate. All right. So Avi, I'm gonna call him with the unless Rick and Rusty want to tweak this, I'm gonna call him with the thought of there might be perhaps maybe $400-ish in this for a lease payment. You won't be claiming interest income, it's a lease payment. And is he open to doing that?
Okay.
That's all. That's what's left. If he doesn't sell this conventionally, what is he going to do? Did you ask him that?
Trying to remember if I asked him.
That's probably the most important thing on all these guys. Okay, I get that's your plan, but what if it doesn't work?
Yeah, I think he was one of the confident it's going to sell guys.
Yeah, they all are.
No, it'll work. It'll work.
Yeah. Okay, Rick or Rusty, any other thoughts?
I was going to say he's anti-renter, but did you talk to him about, our buyers aren't renters, they're buyers. They're not gonna.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I totally calmed him down about that. This was on my first phone call,
Right.
and explained how the people we work with are different. So that opened him up to allowing the appointment.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I did, Chris, with Kevin Mahoney at the sub-2 owner finance was they were giving the seller an additional lease payment on top of the mortgage payment.
Like
And-
this.
Yeah, similar to this. And so what I told him to do is just tell the seller that amortizing that, make it like an interest payment.
But
So,
how you can do that with a lease though?
well, yeah, not on a lease, but on a sub-2 owner finance.
If you did, yeah, you could do it against his equity. Yep. Avi, is this guy open to a hybrid owner financing sub 2? You think, or is he thinking lease
He might
purchase?
be.
You said
He
the word
might be.
hybrid. No.
I
Okay.
didn't ask.
So one issue is the 400-ish, and the second issue is it interest to Rick's point, or is it a lease?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else that we're missing to help Avi? Nope. You
Nope.
guys good? Okay.
Tell him you're going to call him tomorrow. Is that
Yeah.
Plan.
Sometime tomorrow. I have openings, so I will
Okay.
call him tomorrow.
okay? So do you want? Are you setting this up to call with me, or are you just going to call him direct?
If you're around, I just don't want to hard schedule it.